So here we are back again with another episode. Ah, okay. So first thing first, I still haven't kind of figured out like a different way to, test this. So in the meantime, I'm just going to skip it. Normally, it's supposed to suggest this to me, but because of course it seems to be something that right now this VS Code doesn't really understand it. So I'm just going to skip it and then we'll go to test the courier service. So in this case, let's just test, right? So, okay, as usual, expected. So I'm not expecting to get an error now. I'm expecting to get maybe just something that tells me 5 test passes. And then the long looking. Okay, there we go. 5 test passed, 1 pending because obviously we paused that one. So I've skipped this test. So let's go to start testing the courier service. So in order to test the courier service, we'll be looking at a few things. First of all, let me open up the courier service again on one side. So here you'd notice that we have this. Weirdly, I think I can pull this off. I'm not even using it. Yes, I'm using it here, but simply means I don't even need to do this. Or let me add it back just in case I might need it. Okay, so here we go. Here we see that for this service, during initialization, we pass in 3 arguments or 3 options. 3 arguments in our options. We have the app, config, and the templates. So when we scroll down to the bottom here, we'll see like what we passed: the app, the config, and then the templates. The fact that we are using queue here means that we have a number of things we want to mark. So in this case, we probably are not exactly marking it. It's more like maybe we are stopping it. We don't want to kind of see like we don't want to kind of worry about the queues and the stuff. Like yeah, we don't want to worry about that. So okay, so let's see. So here we already test for when the service is registered, which works fine. I could leave this here too, and then keep adding to this. But then in order to add, I'm going to have to create sort of like app, and then the service. So in this case, courier service, which is fine. Then let's look at the queue. So let's say we have set of stubs. So since we have some stubs, I'm just gonna create them this way. So we have a queue because we actually have a queue here. So if we come down here, see we have a queue here. So we want to sort of stop that. So to stop this, oh, we do have access to app here. It's been imported. Okay. In that case, let me just pull this off. So let's see. There's no need for a space here. This is too small to give space. So here I have to kind of stop this, but I think I'm going to use Xenon. Let me first kind of bring up Xenon. Let me confirm if this is still recording. Okay, it still is. So we have Xenon.js, which is basically a standalone test spy, stubs, and mocks for JavaScript. Works with any unit testing framework. Feders.js uses Mocha behind the scene. So in this case, we can actually just add Xenon to the mix. So, and to add Xenon to the mix, I do need to install it. Okay. Sorry, a moment. I need to install it. Normally, I think I ought to install it as a dev dependency. Kind of weird saying that. Okay, no problem. So we have this, and obviously, so it came with like this deprecated warning, which I do hate to see. So let me come down here. This logger.info, do we still need it? Maybe not anymore. So here I can try to import Xenon. Okay. Let's see. I'm expecting a suggestion, but then I'm not getting any. Oh, seems I need to import this or install the type. I wonder if it does have one. Okay, so yeah, installed the type. Shouldn't get this error anymore over on this. Now we are getting something. So I can just I really don't want to stop. I want to just mention that oh sorry, I think I realized I'm making a mistake. I'm currently just supposed to set the type, so meaning I couldn't really access the type because I was trying to do it as if so I imported that from boolean q. So yeah, and currently I don't really care, so I have to make this let's because then we have a worker that we use. When I come down here, you see that we have this worker, this dot binder send. So I want to stop that too. So I need to import the worker, of course, because currently as I'm not importing it, it's assuming that the worker is one of the global stuff we have here. So good. Then what else? I would have stopped the events, queue event stuff, but is there a need? Let me just do that though. Just in case. If I don't need it, I'm going to remove it. Then the mailer service that is feather smeller. So I want to kind of stop that too. In this case, any. How does this thing know that it was any I wanted to provide? That's quite smart. Oh, it's probably because it didn't see any of such stuff imported here. So here we go. And after stopping these guys, like, I didn't really stop them, I just showed that okay, I'm going to create these stops. Next thing I want to do is I'm going down here. Remember, we passed this configuration, which is what we are using. In this our case, we don't really want to kind of use a stop configuration, we just want to mock it. So we're going to kind of create like a mock configuration. So call this mock mconfig. We have M stands for mock. So we have Redis. For Redis, we just put something like this. Then we have email, and for email we have from test@example.com. Normally there are some times that when I'm doing stuff like that, I just install what's it called again? I install faker.js. So I use faker.js to just generate this on the fly. So I might even need to install faker.js in case when we start testing the users. I don't like to kind of try to think of a user or stuff. I just try to do it on the fly. So, and we have auths. So for the auths, let's see. Maybe still test at example.com, which is not exactly the case. Then pass as password. This is normally not everything. We could add host and stuff, but I guess in that case we'll just use like dummy stuff in that case. Let me see. When I over on this, we have host and ports, so we could actually add that too. Let's even add it just to complete the flow. So here we go. This is like the mock, and for some reason I feel like this naming is frustrating. Just that it's test and I don't really care about naming. Okay, weirdly I think it was Python that made me not to care about naming for tests. Like when I was using like the unit test library in Python, when I was still like Python, most of the names are so long. Okay, in a way it's more like I care about it, but I don't care about it being very long. That was the case for my test. Normally if I'm writing, when naming variables, I like to keep the name short, but at the same time still meaningful, which is pretty hard to do. So, but when it comes to tests, I really don't care how long the variable appears to be. Okay, so one more thing we like to mock is the template directory. So in this case, I'm just going to mock templates. Okay, for the first time this thing assumed wrongly. So in my case, I'm just going to import paths, then join a current directory name, still do the same abracadabra I was doing before. And then public/templates. So practically the same thing you see here is what I added. Okay, there's one flaw. Let me remove this. So yeah, so I have this, right? Good. So next time we've kind of mocked some stuff, right? We've created some dummy stuff we'll be using for the test. So in the next video we'll pick it up from there. Thank you.